Swan Bitcoin Managing Director. Terrence, it's good to talk to you. I'm curious to get your reaction to the court ruling that came down yesterday, because you've said for a while that there needs to be a bit of cleaning up that happens in the industry. The adults are starting to come in. What does this court ruling mean in terms of implications for crypto assets?
Yeah, so this is obviously bullish for Bitcoin ETF approvals because the court basically said what? That you cannot rule differently for Bitcoin spot ETFs and Bitcoin futures ETFs, which are already approved. There's no real distinction. 99.9% of the price difference of the prices correlate with each other. So they kind of trade together, the Bitcoin spot price and the Bitcoin futures price. And the SEC did not have a good answer for that. I'm still bearish, but I'm changing my timeline from 12 months to maybe 6 to 9 months. And then I'm super bullish because I do think, as I've said before on elsewhere, that Bitcoin spot ETFs will be approved in the United States. Why? Because they are cleaning up crypto. Yesterday, one thing that's very interesting that is way underreported, I feel, and undertweeted about is the fact that the SEC, on the same day that they lost against Grayscale, in their Binance case, they filed about 37 sealed documents, which is extremely unusual, suggesting that maybe they have witnesses they don't want tampered with, or that the DOJ might be going after Binance, and there's information they want the judge to see how serious things are against Binance, but not want the public to see.
So what do you think that then means for the price of crypto, the price of Bitcoin then, at least in the near term? Certainly sounds like we could see a lot of volatility if that is in fact the case.
There will be some volatility as the market digests, and I believe comes around to my view that short term, there's too much hopium. There's too many crypto bulls and Bitcoin bulls who think that the ETF will be approved, ASAP or in the next several weeks. I'm not sure we're going to see a launch of any Bitcoin. I don't think we'll see a launch of any spot Bitcoin ETF before year end. And I'm happy to bet people on this. I've been kind of goading some of the hopium bros on Twitter to bet against me.
Even with the cleanup that's happening within the space, you said that there's still a lot of price manipulation that's happening specifically on Bitcoin. We're seeing it trading above that $27,000 handle. What is the real value, you think, if the manipulation's still happening?
So I think Bitcoin, the real value is it's way undervalued. This is the best asymmetric upside asset with asymmetric upside I've ever seen in my life. And I've been in finance many years. But short term, who knows? Because until the wash trading, price manipulation, and fraud is completely cleaned up, I do feel like if you look at the trading volumes, they've gone down in Bitcoin, maybe because of US and Chinese authorities going after some of these Chinese exchanges like Binance, like Huobi. And the threat of that has made them kind of not want to be as aggressive, I think, in their wash trading. So maybe the current volume is about right when you strip out the bump up in trading volume due to this recent Grayscale decision. But for some time, we've been seeing a pretty significant decline in trading volume.
Terrence, the interest that we've seen from BlackRock, from Fidelity, just to name a few, on a spot Bitcoin ETF here potentially for the future, how big of a catalyst is that going to be just in terms of wider adoption and getting more people to eventually potentially trust Bitcoin?
Sure. Once they launch, especially those two, plus Invesco, which is the manager for QQQ, the very popular tech ETF. Once those three launch, or any of those three launch, it will be a massive bullish sign where a flood of money should come into Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs. Why? Because those three are three of the most respected traditional finance or TradFi companies in the world. They really know ETFs. They really know finance. They're respected by institutions and high net worth and other folks as well. So once they actually launching and offering Bitcoin ETFs, I think a flood of cash will come in. Very different from gold ETFs. Why? Because gold was around for thousands of years, accepted across all cultures as valuable. By the time the gold ETF came about, it was like, okay, this is great. There was a flood of cash that rushed into gold because of gold ETFs. But I think with Bitcoin, it's going to be like 10x bigger, if not much more, because Bitcoin is a teenager. It's considered a scam by some of the people I respect the most in my life, family members, extremely accomplished law school classmates. They don't get Bitcoin, and I think that's going to change within about a year.
So what's the upside you see? I mean, short to medium term, you said you've moved up your timeline, 6 to 9 months. Where's that price going to be 6 to 9 months from now?
Once they launch, so this is my guess, right? 6 to 9 months is based on my guess that the Bitcoin trading volume continues to stay down, so there's not a lot of wash trading, fraud, and price manipulation, and the DOJ and Chinese authorities continue their progress or seeming progress against some of these Chinese exchanges. I hate to say it, but if I had to pick a number, it could easily go way past the 69,000 all-time high for Bitcoin in about 12 months or so.
12 months. That's a pretty bullish call. We'll have to have you back on, Terrence, to see where it goes.
Great to
Terrence
see you
Yang,
again.
Swan Bitcoin Managing Director. Good to talk to you today.